live. I hope that you're having a good night. I'm always having a good day. So I just want to make sure everybody knows that we are going to answer all of your questions. And thanks everybody for coming. And please let me know, can you hear me and see me? I want to make sure before I start the webinar officially, I want to make sure you can hear me and see me. Love to see a couple of yeses in the chat, please. And from then we'll be ready to start. Awesome. Awesome. Great. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to start right off without a delay and do a tour of the back office. I'm going to show you everything. And then we're going to do a little quick training that I had planned. And then after that, we're going to have questions. So we'll go ahead and I'll add the screen in. And I'm actually going to take my picture off so that you can see the screen better. And I have Got Backup up. And of course, when you first come into Got Backup, this is what you're going to see. The front page has a great big video and a couple of and it has some tabs which actually are also over here. So we'll just do all of our tour from the left side over here. That just makes it easier. As you can see, I'm just in Got Backup. There's no other product in here. Some of us have other products, but this is the Got Backup back office if you only have Got Backup. And the very first tab here is called Use This Tool. This is where you get started. So we're going to click that so we can make sure and know what that's about. And this is where you can get your download for Windows or Macintosh or for Google, Android, or for if you have an iPhone. Or you might be like me and have both a Windows machine and I have an iPhone. It doesn't matter. All of that works, but everything is here. And I also want you to pay attention to any time that you see orange buttons like this. That usually means there's a group of videos that you can watch to help you understand our program better. I don't go through the setup process because the videos here do us just as good a job, if not better, because for one thing, I already have it set up the way I want to and I don't want to screw it up. So this is what you need to do. If you're brand new, please make sure and go through these videos. If you have an Android phone, you're going to find the videos right here for your Android phone. Now you might notice also, if you have an iPhone or a Macintosh, then you would go over here to these videos and watch these videos. And I did watch the videos to get my iPhone set up correctly. And these are really good. So make sure and watch these so that there's no confusion on how to use this product. Because really the name of the game is to actually use this product. And if you want to add anybody, because this is a family account, right? If you want to add anybody, this is also where you would do that. You just put a new username in them, give them a username and add them. And then it gives you a link that lets you share it with whoever you're going to share your account with. Presently, when you do that, it will split your account in half and give them half of your space. But if that is not what you want to do, I have a solution for you tonight. And we're going to talk about that. But first off, we're going to finish the tour. So obviously, everything that you really need to know is going to be on this left-hand side. The next tab down is called the Reseller Tools. This is where you're going to find your links and all of the copy, the banners, everything that you might want for advertising our product. The most popular and best page really is this one right here, giving them a free tour of the product. Now that just means that they get to look at the inside. They can't really do a lot of using until they're a paid member, but they can go around and look at everything. and that gives them a chance to see what it's all about. When you want to share this link, they make it super easy. All you have to do is click this button and it copies your link for you. And it'll look like this. Of course, it'll have your personal username, whatever that is. Whatever you have signed up with, that's what's going to be right here. And then, of course, there's other pages in here. This one allows you to invite people to the webinars like tonight. And we have webinars almost every night this week. We even have them in other languages. We have France and Italy right now, and probably we will have others because right now we're in over 120 countries. So it's pretty cool. And then you might notice also that we have other tabs over here. So let's look at the other tabs that we have here. The next one over is called the banners. I use these on a regular basis. In fact, I'm going to show you exactly how I use one of them right here. I've got a blog page open, and this is one of the banners in the back office, and I have it right here. So when you click this, guess where it takes you? It takes you to my tour page. And so if you want to do what makes sense, then you want to make sure and use what we have here. And we've got all different sizes and shapes. And this is the one I have on my blog. And the way I actually used it is instead of copying, I actually just clicked this and saved this to my hard drive. You can actually save the image. It'll save it in the full size. And then once you do that, then you can use it in your blog. And of course, you have to attach a link to it. It doesn't automatically have a link if you just save it as as a file. But that's what I did for my blog. I wanted to make sure it was full sized, and I wanted to control what you saw when you clicked. So I put just my you saw that you can get to it because I just clicked to it just now. So this is the same image that I just showed you, and it goes to my tour. And that makes it really fun and easy. The next tab over is the advertising ad copy. Now, this is like sample emails and various different things. And what's cool is you can use this any way you want. Now, I recommend you don't use 5 or 6 links. There's a lot of links in here. There's at least 3. And I really recommend you don't do that because the more links you have in an email, the more likely it's going to show up in your spam folder. So just copy a small part of it and plan on editing it a little bit. Personalize it so that it sounds like it's coming from you. That's really important. In fact, the lead capture system is one of the most valuable parts of this system, and I use it daily. Okay, so the next tab over is called the pre-enrollee ad copy, and what this is it's an email that will let you send an email to your new people that have taken the tour. If they're called a pre-enrollee, that means they're on your tour and they have at least come to that point. They've said yes a couple of times in order to do that. They created a free account and they're now seeing your emails. So you can send an email to them, and I recommend that you do that. Because no matter how good our company is at telling them about our product, they need to hear from a real person, and that's you. Don't be afraid to use this system. I've trained on this many times. I'm not going to spend a lot of time tonight talking about that, but I just recommend that you do that. I send an email out absolutely every day. And because we have so many webinars, you can actually do that. You can send out invitations to our webinars pretty much on a daily basis or a replay. And when you do that, it's just nicer to do it that way than to just say, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, because people don't like that. You don't need to be a salesperson to show this company to other people. All you have to do is invite them to get on the tour, invite them to come to the webinars, and we do the job of helping them become paid members, and you don't have to work that hard at it. Just invite them and we'll do the rest. The next tab over is the social media stuff, and there's some pretty nice looking stuff in here. There's more in our group as well. And I've used a few of these, but I do recommend that you are careful not to overdo it. Please don't overdo it. Once in a while is wonderful. And I also recommend that you don't necessarily put your link on. I know that that is what a lot of people say to do, but it's actually better that you make them ask for it. Because if they ask for it, that means they're saying yes. And if they're saying yes, that means they're more likely to click on it and actually go and become a pre-enrollee in your team. And that means that they're on their way to becoming a paid member. So go ahead and check all of this out. And of course, we've got videos as well in here. We're not going to play them. You can come and look all you want. So that's what's in here. And then the last tab after all of the stuff under Got Backup is our lead capture system. This is where you're going to find your actual leads. Now, this is not a real account. It is called a demo account. And this is me. I logged in so that I have one person that's on this list. And I can't actually show it to you because YouTube usually gets excited if they see personal information. They actually take a video down, so we're not going to do that, are we? But you can actually see that I have sent emails out before. I'll just click the broadcast and you can see that I've put in emails in here just to show you how to do it, and it's super easy. And you know what? Before you tell me about how you can't do it, just start doing it. Don't worry about being perfect. Do it until you get better at it, because the better you are. And another thing I want to recommend is that you just be friendly. Like I said, invite them to the webinar. As you can see, that's what I have here. This is an invitation to a webinar. If we went into this email right now and just looked at it, you would see that all I've got in here is just a real simple invite to the webinar. In fact, tonight, right? And you can do the same thing. You simply use your own webinar tour link and share it with your whole list. Even if it's only one person, start from that one person, invite them to webinars, invite them to be on the tour. And then don't be pushy. You don't have to be. Just be friendly. A lot of people get all wrapped up in being worried about saying the right thing. And if you're just inviting somebody to come to the webinar, there isn't any wrong thing you can say. Just say, I just want to invite you. It's not hard, guys. Make this easy. Make it fun. And that's how I feel. Now, of course, there's a few more tabs in here. In fact, we got a new one called the Internet Wallet. And this is a place where you can actually bring money in for your subscription. And you can refill it from either the card, or once you start getting some commissions, you can also send it through your commissions. But of course, this is not a real account, so it's not showing any personal information on here. But you can also, once you start getting money in your wallet, you can transfer out back to your personal account as well. So this is really cool. We have this option now as well. Then, of course, we've got the business tab. This is where you're going to find your personal sales when they start to happen. The first tab here is the compensation plan. Now, I do recommend you spend some time on this. There's 2 videos in here. There is one that just tells you how your direct referrals, how you get paid on those. The other one talks about the binary, which is a company kind of special bonus that's given to us as we create what they call cycles. And a cycle is created by having 4 on one side of on one of the legs and 2 on the other, which isn't that hard to do. Okay, and then once you start seeing people that are being paid, that are paying, they're going to show up on this tab. Now, this is today, so remember that there's a 4-week lag before they actually you'll actually get that commission, because we give everybody a 30-day guarantee and we honor that for everyone. So it's very important. Don't get all excited just because you don't get paid today for somebody that paid yesterday, because we want to make sure that everybody has the right to choose to take that 30-day guarantee. Now, we don't have very many that change their mind and leave, because this is such a good deal. Most people are staying with it. And you know what the real name of the game is? It's not to be thinking money as much as, are you using the product? And that is what I'm all about when I'm teaching you here, is using the product, understanding how it works, because once you feel good about the product and you're using it yourself, you're going to be an ambassador for the product and you're not going to have a problem having people say yes to you. And then, of course, once people sign up, they're going to show up on this tab called My Downline. Now, again, this is a demo account, so it's not going to have any information in here. Make sure and read this right here. When you start to see people coming in, you're going to see right under here. First, you're gonna see your personal sponsor, the person that you're signed up under. Then you're going to see the tank, if there is a tank, and the tank only shows up when there is people that have become paid members. And the cutoff on Wednesday, they are in the power line until then. And I understand actually that they're going to show up in the tank sooner now, so you can move them anytime you want. Now, here's one thing to remember. You can't see it on this demo, but there are 2 legs, one on the left and one on the right, and they're on the outside when you're looking at this graphic. Make sure you remember that. If you start seeing open spaces on the inside, those belong to your team, not you. So only put people on the left outside leg or the right outside leg. And if you remember that, you will not get confused. And just keep it kind of even. That's how I usually do it. And I usually get paid a binary bonus because I keep it even. And that, because you don't really know once your leg gets long, how many people you have on each side. Some will be there, some won't be there. So it's harder to keep track once you have hundreds of people on your line. And I do have hundreds of people down in my line. So that's the best way to do it. And then your direct affiliates will show up on this. Of course, you've got reseller, customer. Cart abandoned means that they didn't finish the process, and they usually show up free at first when they're doing the tour. And then all's going to be everybody. Then we've got one that's specifically for Got Backup called live webinars. And this is where you see all the people that are training. For instance, this is an Italian presentation, and he's doing that every week, these 2 people here. And then we have the Wednesday cutoff with Mike and Joel. On Friday, Mark does a wonderful job of teaching and helping with motivation and recognition of the ones that are winning. And it's showing Chris and Tammy in here, but last week we had someone else do Saturday, so that may change occasionally. And then Naomi is doing Sunday, and she is French. So we have 2 different languages besides English right now. And then you might also notice right under that is the webinar replay. And on the webinar replay, That's how you get to your own, to our own live webinars. So all you have to do is click right here, and it takes you to the channel where all of our presentations are. And as you can see, we're live right now, right here. And of course, there's other things scheduled ahead of time. And then here's things that have happened in the past. And last week, Dr. Koa was training, and I haven't watched his yet. I'm going to have to go back and watch the replay. But that's the really cool thing about replays is sometimes you can't make it live. That's fine. Come on in and watch the replay. Or you can share these with your people as you start going along, whether it's just in a chat or in an email. This is another resource for you to help you do better with your team and helping them. And then, of course, we also have business cards, and I think we're going to also have shirts and other kinds of merch later on. But that is the whole tour. Now, I made a promise to the new people that came really early that I actually use my Got Backup cloud a little bit different than a lot of other people do. I like to have a little more control, and I basically turn it into like an external drive. So I'm actually going to show you how I do that. So I'm in here, and this is my personal backup, and I'm going to actually go into my own personal cloud. And there it is. And then here's my files up here. And I want you to notice something. This looks pretty much like my hard drive does. This looks like the hard drive, all documents, all music, all pictures, all video, just like what you probably see when you go into your Windows especially. And then some of these are special things I do that are separate from me. But I want to show you something that I've been doing. Because I don't want to give half of my space up to anyone else, and I'm kind of a space hog, as you might notice. I've used up a lot of space already. I made a whole folder that is my daughter's stuff, and I'm actually adding to it as I go along. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this just so you can see what I'm talking about. And this is looking just like my hard drive. If I actually come down here, you can see this is the folder I'm using right here. This is the same thing that I'm uploading into that computer. So if I wanted to, I could actually add another folder in there. Let's see what I've added. And if I come down here, the last thing I put in there is the portraits, which is right here. So what if I wanted to add this one? All I would have to do is grab that title. I did a rename just so that I could actually copy this. And then I'm going to come back here to my drive, and I'm going to add that folder. And all I have to do is create a new folder, do a Control V, which puts that folder in there, that same name. Now I've got an empty folder, and I'm going to add those pictures. And I do this more than I actually have a sync. This is also how you can have things just on the cloud if you want to. Now this is actually not. These pictures need to be edited, but I'm just going to put the first one in there so that you can see how that works. And also, I don't want it to take a long time. So if I had 50 pictures, it might take about 15 minutes for it to load, depending on the size of the pictures. But I have a lot of stuff. I have a whole music collection as well. And so here is that picture that I just showed you. Now it's in my hard drive up in the cloud, and it looks like my hard drive on my computer. Now, guess what that does for me? If something happens to one of my hard drives, and it has, I have lost 3 different external drives, then everything is in the cloud and nothing gets lost. I'm not dependent on the sync, which may or may not get things in there as fast as I want it to. I can choose to spend as much time as I want putting things up this way. I have more control. Now, you don't have to do this. This is just what I do. And it helps me out because then I know exactly what's in my drives. I know exactly what's up on the cloud. And that means that I have complete control. And that's important to me. So I'm going to come on back to the room. Come on. Here we are. All right. So, what'd you think of that? Does the co-op system automatically send follow-ups? No, they send out some emails, but you do have to put up some of your own stuff, or you can upgrade to the done for you system, which will put up some emails. But you still need to spend some time emailing your leads because you want them to know who you are. Okay, so any questions you guys might have? I want to make sure I train a little bit, and that's what that was about. I like to have more control. And so that's why I do it that way. I might spend a few hours a day putting up pictures until I get them all up there. And then I know precisely where they are. I know that everything is there. So if something happens, or if I want to access them from a different place, like my phone, I can. So that's what I am doing with that. And that's why I won't leave Got Backup because I've got my stuff up in their cloud. I'm not going to leave, am I? So money is not your first concern. Making sure your stuff is backed up is very, very, very important. Good idea, Pat, to personalize your leads, send out personal emails. Very, very important. They need to see who you are. If they don't hear from you, they don't know you from Adam. And that's very important. So, any other questions? Any hosting option available through? I'm not sure what you mean, Bruce. You can share with your team or your family. As you know, you can just make another account if that's what you mean. I don't know of any other way that we host. I'm not sure what you mean by that. But anyway, you need to clarify. I know you know that you can create another to a WordPress site. Oh, I see. We have other products. We do have a hosting product. It's part of Now Lifestyle. I have that. I have had my WordPress actually hosted for 3 years in our system, and I love it. I don't have to pay extra hosting fees, which is wonderful. when FilePath says uh, when FilePath says too long, so short, and how do I do this without opening a file or folder? You can do a right-click rename. That's what I would probably do. Maurice, you can pretty much back up any kind of file that you have. In fact, let me go back and share something else that I do because I have not been using Google Docs for quite a while. I'll show you what I'm doing instead. Let's see, I need that to go back to a list. I have a folder called Online Documents. I'm not going to open these, but you can see what they are. I have personal stuff in here. This is just like Google Docs. You can put Excel like spreadsheets up or Word like WordPress such Word docs such. That's what this is Word like Word. Or you can make presentations and you can save all of that in your back office. And what's cool is that it's automatically saved. And the way you do that, you either create something new or you can download it from your Google Docs and bring it over. And say like I wanted to create a brand new spreadsheet, all I would have to do is decide what its name is going to be. And then all I have to do is click the arrow, and guess what? It's going to create it, and then it's going to bring me over there so that I can edit it. So in a few seconds, it's going to flip us over into the online space where we can actually edit that spreadsheet, and you can do as much of that as you want. And what's cool is it's all saved automatically in your back office. Right here, you can edit, you can share, and you can create right here inside of Got Backup. And we're waiting for that to still come up, but that's what you would do. Okay, this is a good question. No, whoops. Can you send personalized email to a would-be prospect who hasn't enrolled in? You can send one to them from your Gmail if they're not on your list. You certainly can do that. Yeah. My laptop storage is full. I need to get my files stored up and Got Backup, but the videos were no help to me. Okay, Sharon, simply download them out of, if they're already on your hard drive, simply upload them into Got Backup. You can do it physically. You don't have to wait for them to be synced, or you can sync them. It doesn't matter either way. But once you know they're there, and what's good about actually doing a manual upload is that it's not in sync. So that means that it's not going to be deleted if you delete it off your hard drive. And that's another really major reason why I like to do a manual upload. Okay. A manual upload means doing what I just demonstrated. Okay. Great. Any questions you've got, make sure you give them to me so that I can answer them. That's what this is all about tonight. My major concern is to make sure that you are completely comfortable with Got Backup and understand how it works. And then when you have it all done, Bruce, you're funny. Okay. Any other questions you guys have? Make sure and get them to me. And you know what, Sharon, with having a lot of stuff, having a small hard drive, which is common, especially with laptops, this is a solution for you. You have 6 terabytes of space that you can put your stuff up there. So you've got lots of space. I'm quite sure you haven't used up even half, and I'm close to half, and I've got a lot of stuff. and I'm close to half. So if that tells you anything, it should, okay? That we have so much space that you really should never run out of space. And then you can even edit right there in your online space. So if I go back to my space now, guess where we are? We're in where we can actually create a spreadsheet, because remember, I created a new spreadsheet. I didn't do anything else except for give it a name. Now we can actually give this some stuff here, okay? Now, I mean, this can be absolutely anything that you can imagine. Anything. I keep track of my bills. I keep track of my credit cards. I keep track of my money coming in. I do all of that inside of this program. So I don't have any Google Docs, and I don't have a whole bunch of stuff on my hard drive that are those kind of things. You can keep PDFs, you can keep all your spreadsheets, you can keep all your Word documents. And this is just like having a copy of Word on the internet inside of your backup. It's really, really cool. Oh, okay. Yes, I saw your question earlier and I was going to answer it. No, you do not have to have separate accounts. That's one of the beauties of our program versus such as I think Dropbox and some of those others, they do make you have separate accounts. We do not make you do that. I have a laptop, a tower, and a phone, and all you have to do is use the same account, your same username and password for all three of those things, and then all of it is going to show up in the same place. For instance, my new iPhone pictures are inside of my pictures photo. I can show it to you. Let me go ahead and share that again. And if I come on over here, and I'm not going to actually do that. So if I come back to my all files and I go to my all pictures, I have a folder called New iPhone. And this is actually where my iPhone is uploading my pictures. So this is all of my pictures, even older ones that are, I took off my phone some time ago. I manually uploaded into this folder so that I have all of it, and I have videos from my TikTok, and I have photos that I've downloaded out of Facebook, various different things like that, and it's all in here. And I have it in one account. I don't have three accounts, I have one account. And that's really, really important to keep that simple. You don't need to have two or three accounts. And right, like Bruce said, six people and unlimited devices. In some cases, people have 5 or 6 devices each. Yeah, and this is true. Anton says Apple will charge $30 for 6T. Uh, yeah, that can add up in a hurry, and I understand actually it can be more than that. And many of these other programs do not charge you. I mean, they charge you a lot. Okay, so hi there. If I use only 1 or 2 users in my subscription, can one user use majority of the space, or does the system automatically divide it? Right now, the system automatically divides it in half. That's why I do a folder. I did a shared folder for my daughter because she's not going to need half of my space. And that's what I did. So let me go back and show you what I'm talking about. So if I go back in to my main folder, and it's in the all pictures, And remember, I showed you this. This folder is my daughter's stuff. It's got 10 gigabytes in it. It's not a lot of space. It may be more than that. It may be double or triple that by the time I get everything in there that belongs to her. She had me storing her pictures. And I also took a bunch of videos that were hers from an old camcorder, you know, those little small camcorder tapes. And I sent them in and had them converted. In fact, I can show you that because I thought that was pretty neat. But here is those videos. They're inside of this system. And even with that, at this point, she's only using 10 gigabytes of space. And because of that, I'm not going to have to give her half of my space. She's using 10 gigabytes. But this is a shared folder. Notice that the chain is up here. That means that I have given her this link right here. If I copy that, that means the link is copied. That means that I can give it to her. Well, of course, I have already. But this is where she can get to all of her pictures and her videos that I have that are hers. So you have more than one option. You can go ahead and create a file, a personal account for someone. If you don't have a problem with sharing half of it, and they are working on making it where you can allot it how you want it. But right now they don't have it that way. So that's the workaround for now. Okay? Great. Yeah, I agree with you, Debbie. There are a lot of people that prefer just having the cloud. And, I'm getting to the point where I'm going to actually get everything up in the cloud, and then I'm not going to be worried about having a hard drive because you don't really have to have an external anymore. I used to have 3 or 4 external drives, and then I've had them fail. And that's not fun when they fail, because if you haven't backed up your stuff, you're out of luck. So obviously I didn't lose my stuff because it is backed up. But, a lot of people are in a place where they are really, in a bad place because they lost their stuff. So those are the ones you want to talk to. Yeah, cloud means on the server. And they just upgraded our server speed, and it is quite a bit faster now, which is really nice. Any other questions that you need me to answer and help you with, let me know, because it's really important that you feel really comfortable, because if you are a product of the product, and believe me, before you sell this to other people, you best be putting in your own stuff up in that cloud. You best have a good backup going so that you know exactly where your stuff is, because that gives you confidence and it makes you feel really good about where your stuff is. And when you can actually access it, it's really fun. Cordelia, it might be that your phone just doesn't have enough memory to do that. What the workaround would be for you probably is to plug your phone into your computer and download it there and then bring it up from there into the cloud, because you have more memory usually on a hard drive. So that's what I would do if I were you, especially for videos, because videos are bigger, they're going to take more space, they're going to take more memory. Perfect. I appreciate all the questions. Are there any more questions that you need me to answer? I want to make sure you guys feel really comfortable with your product, because you want to be a product of the product, especially with this product. Because if you're not using it, the money is crazy. You can make really good money, but you're not going to make it if you don't use the product. You need to be using it. Questions? Any questions? Ah, yes. I noticed there's a web panel there called migration. It lets you move your Dropbox. Yes, it does. I don't have Dropbox, have not had it for a really long time, so I don't have anything to migrate, but I understand it works really cool. And it just creates a special folder, I think, over into your Got backup service and brings all of your stuff over there. And I think they're also working on one for Google Photos, but they have not yet said anything about that yet. Uh, okay. Sending an email to one person, we have an autoresponder. It doesn't actually send to just one person, it'll send to the whole group. So we don't have the ability to send to individuals. If you want to send to an individual by themselves, just one person, then you can do that to your Gmail, okay? I don't have got back. We got friends. I know that they were doing a special to get some of the got back. We got friends over into got backup, but that's something I don't actually know much about. But generally speaking, whenever we have a new JV, which is what that is, they'll generally have a new list where that group of people and their leads will end up. Okay. That's what it's going to do. It's going to create a new list for your We Got Friends and Got Backup. All right. Awesome. If that person doesn't pay their subscription, their downline stays under them. But if that downline is paying and that other person isn't paying, you get paid. I've had that happen. I've had people quit and they have somebody in their downline that's paying. I get paid for that person because I'm a paid member, and you do need to be a paid member to get paid. Awesome, Nikki. That's awesome. Questions? Anybody got more questions? Let me know. You got a good bunch of new people here. I appreciate you coming. Um, I really like it. I don't think Delia has been here before. I think you're new, aren't you? Did you come over because of We Got Friends? Because I know they did a big push for that recently, which is cool. So if you just look at the subscribers, okay, great. So if you just look at the subscribers, Cordella, on your lead capture system, you'll probably see a list that is We Got Friends. Okay. All right. Perfect. So you'll probably see a list in there that has We Got Friends list. This is a good question. Bruce, what I do when I don't want my pictures to get deleted off my phone is I make a new list, a new folder, and move them in there. And if you do that, then they can't be removed from your cloud. But if it's in the sync, obviously they can be. So if you're worried about that, I would suggest that you actually make a new folder up in your cloud and put some pictures in there that you don't want to lose. And I just answered the same question. I think basically the same answer for you as well is if you want to delete it off your phone, make sure you have that data backed up other than in your sync. It's a good idea to have another folder where you're going to keep all of the things that you don't want to lose so that if you delete them off your phone, they won't disappear off your cloud. Good questions. Any more questions? You're welcome. Yeah. Again, Michael, if you're having problems with it, sometimes it's just that you're skipping a step. So go look at those videos that I showed you at the beginning of my tour. And also remember that you also have the option of doing manual uploads anytime you want. And what's good about manual uploads is that they are not going to be affected by a sync. In other words, they're not going to get deleted. And that's important. I like to do that more actually than I like to do syncs. I do have both going, but I do a lot more manual upload. If I watch the replays of our GBU, Italian trading, etc., please show me how to get the link. I don't know what the link is for the Italian, but I believe it's in our Facebook group. Let me grab the group link. I think Mike posted all of that recently in the group. So let me give you that. Here's the Facebook group for Got Backup. And also, if you're brand new and you're not a paid member yet, this is how you get started. Okay, any other questions that I can answer? Now I know that French is /FR, so I would imagine that Italian is /I something IL. Yep, great start. We should always get started right away. That's how I look at it. I look like I have more monitors. I only have one monitor. I have a big monitor, but I have one monitor. I have a big monitor. I have a 55-inch monitor. It's actually an older TV because I bought a new 65-inch for my bedroom. So I put this one on the wall. I took down the old pedestal thing that used to be on this desk, and I just have, we actually hung this TV. But I only have one. I don't have more than one monitor. I used to have two, but I only have one. It can happen, Deborah. And Deb, what I would suggest doing if you're having problems, if you're uploading a whole folder, try doing a portion of the folder instead of the whole thing and see if that helps you out. That's a memory issue usually. If I deleted what I thought were duplicate documents from my computer, not realizing they had not synced in the cloud, is there any way to get those folders and files back? If you've deleted them off your computer and they're not backed up, it depends. Are they still in the recycle bin? They can be gone for good if you're not careful. So Yeah, it's always good to make sure that your backup is actually complete before you delete them. And if it's in a sync, remember that it can delete it. Yeah, I'm kind of strange that way. I like big monitors. I went through graphic design school, and I just like big monitors because you can see in more detail. And I still do a lot of photo editing, and so I like to have a big screen. I hope that makes sense. One of my favorite things actually is to do photo editing. Yep, that's why they call it backup. Mrs. Mix-a-Lot. Frank, Bruce, you're silly. Okay. Any other questions I can answer, let me know. Baby got back. Yeah. Make sure that, in a lot of cases, a manual upload like I demonstrated today is one of your best, really best ways to do it. Think of it like it's your external drive in the cloud. That's how I look at it. Thank you, Russ. Any other questions I can answer? Want to make sure you feel really comfortable with the product. That's the really big name of the game for tonight, is that you feel really good about it. And really, the name of the game also is get in there and use it. As soon as you use it and you figure it out, it is not hard and it's fun and it's kind of addictive as well. At least it is for me. I mean, I could spend all day in there messing with my stuff. So, any other questions I can answer, let me know. Yeah, I think so. Forking it along. Do you have your fork? Your fork. Anyway, looks like we're in pretty good shape. Everybody happy? They understand. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Christy. And thanks for coming, everybody. I appreciate you all being here. And it seems like we have at least 4 to 6 new people every single time, which is really awesome. And remember, there's other webinars through the week you can participate in. Tiplash with your co-op, it's a matter of continuing to just be friendly with your leads that are in your co-op. Make sure you're sending them emails. They need to see who you are because they don't know you yet. So you need to actually give them a chance to get acquainted with who you are. And that's how they turn into sales. Well, I'm glad that I helped you. That's great. Any other questions? Last call. If it's already been recorded and it's past the time when it's going to be shared with the share link, what you would do, Donna, is to go get the actual video link and you can share it that way. You know how to do that, right? Right underneath the video is usually a share button, and you just go grab the share button and you can share it with anybody. That's what you do. You're so welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you could come. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the product. I am kind of addicted. I'm one of those super fans. I'm not going to ever go away. I love the product. Regeneration, no, they can't see your personal account when you give them a new account. they see an empty folder, they don't see any of your stuff. Okay? And you don't see theirs. That's the whole point. It's supposed to be private. You're certainly welcome, Sharon. I appreciate you coming. Yeah, love the product. That's part of the game, isn't it? Love it, love it, love it. If you love it, it's going to come across to people that you're talking to. And I don't have a problem convincing people. I don't have to spend time convincing them. I do demos on YouTube, and people come over to me from that. I usually get leads every week from my videos that I share in my YouTube channel. And I've had that YouTube channel since 2009 or 10. So it's been around a long time. And I went in there recently and took out a few things that were old stuff. Yeah, use the product for peace of mind. You don't have to have any more crashing hard drives. And like somebody said, even their brand new laptop crashed, and that happens. So absolutely sell the peace of mind that they can have all of their stuff saved safely inside of our very secure back office cloud and got backup. Well, if that is all and everybody's happy they understand, then I'm going to call it a night. I will see you again next Monday. And bye for now.